Hello, kindred spirits. Here is our December diary entry number 3, and you're going to see me actually help lift the granite countertop off of the counters. I'm going to be showing you what the kitchen looks like right now, and then I'm going to be adding live greens to the garlands that I put outside. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in a day or two.
I almost asked you if that was yours, but you don't use
I'm going to help. All right, so
you're going to stay in the middle. I don't want to get on each end. I'm going to take this because I don't want to break it. I want to try not to break it.
take this door off first just so that I can get close.
We're going to shut that door. How's that?
Shut the doors.
All right, so it's going on our hip, right? Yep. That ain't bad. It's not bad. No. No, it's good. All right, let's go down. Oh. Okay, Kelly?
Fingers out?
Good, fingers out. Fingers are out. That's all. Yeah, that's good. Got it. That wasn't bad.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No.
Well, Willow, you
Maybe
didn't
they
help at all.
this.
I didn't have it all in
Maybe
frame,
that's
but
this.
we got it over here.
Maybe this was just.
And
All they had to
then,
pick it up, put the dishwasher
I don't know
in.
who's taking it outside, but
I
I'm
bet.
certainly
You're
not going to
right.
be helped with that.
That wouldn't surprise
That was a
me.
lot.
Cool.
Well, there is no turning back now. The counters, I am so pleased to say, have found a good home. One of the gentlemen that you just saw working on the cabinets, he's going to be installing them in his kitchen. And this is the last time I will be able to make footprints on this floor. Are you ready to see what's behind the door? I hear a lot of activity going on the other side of this door. Yikes. Oh my! Not glued down, I see.
Thank God.
Wow.
And it's not, yeah, not glued down. That's what you said, right?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no complaint.
I closed the door and did not return to the room until they left for the day. Let's check out the kitchen together. All right, we took that little peek into the kitchen as they were taking up the floor. I left them alone because it was so busy and noisy. I am seeing this for the first time with you. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I just have to go around and make sure there's not nails. Oh, looks like they bent nails over already, so Willow won't get it. But this is interesting. I got chills. This is kind of cool. And I don't have chills because it's chilly in here. They had the door open for quite a while. And I am so happy. I don't think I mentioned this, and I'm going to keep saying that in these videos because I don't remember what I talk about since with these quick videos. But I am so pleased that one of the contractors is going to be able to use this kitchen in his house. So I am just loving knowing that it's going to go to a good home and that it's going to be used properly versus going into a dumpster. So that's great. And the floors are going to be bundled up, and I think they're going to hopefully be able to use those again as well. But these diamond patterns are stained into the wood. It wasn't painted on, so I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, I got chills. This is kind of cool, seeing it like this. Our house is crooked on every aspect of it, and you can see it from this board. It goes from thin to thicker to thicker to thicker, and then they had to do this little tiny wedge to make the center here equal. That's hysterical. I don't know what they're going to do here. I'm pretty much told them that the house is crooked. I don't mind that it's going to stay crooked. It is an old house. It's just like if the floors can't go in the same direction, it's going to show that this was two old sheds, or 2 old houses. I think it was a house and a shed that was put here originally. And let me show you a photo of that for those who haven't seen it. But here's another indication of it. Oops, I see a nail I have to get up. These are 2 beams that were married together for the 2 buildings. At one point, the 2 buildings were taken down and I guess remodeled and rebuilt, but a lot of it was reused here. So let me go grab those pictures and show you. So I'm going to take you through a few photos here. This photo is about 1900, and I want to show you a few transitions that this home has gone through. So this is the kitchen area that's being worked on now, but at one point it was 2 separate buildings, and then even this was modified. I read in an article that this used to be a house that was taken from up the road somewhere. But in this photo, there's a little doorway cover here, and notice no dormers. And then a little bit later in time, or I should show you, here's the big barn area. This is our now library that was the summer kitchen. Very long barn here, and then a huge barn was over in this area, which I think shows it. Let me see. You can see the barn on the end of that. So it was a very large barn, larger than the house looks like. And then at one point, that little roof was taken off, but you can see there's where my glass is over the top. The original 9/6 windows. And then at one point, they changed this to be a shed. A wood shed was here. So this is my kitchen sink right here, and wood shed. And let's see, dormers. All of a sudden, dormers were added to the house. And then this is 1930. The home was purchased for $1,000 for a wife's wedding gift. And we actually spoke to one of the owner's children. She was here and gave us a little tour of the home, but I've got more on that later. So there was with dormers, and then all of a sudden, I don't know when, the dormers were taken off. But I do know now that our door's the same, door knocker's different though. The lights are different, and look at the large trees that were out front. We are discussing maybe down the road dormers again, but not for a long time. And these are the kids who used to live here, 1930s, 40s, and 50s. And she brought this photo to show me that it used to have red and yellow toile wallpaper in what is now our dining room. It was a blurry photo that she had, but it's kind of cool to see. I'm also noticing that this has a cover over the beehive oven. So at one point, this was all done over. I am going to take advantage of the sun being out. It's not frigidly cold, and I'm going to start putting the live greens up around the door. I have the wreath up right now. I'm still going to be adding to the wreath. I might do that while I'm working with the greens. I have a few different types, and I'm going to put some live berries in there. Might even do faux berries, as long as it's not the faux berry that cracks from the cold and from being outside. So let's go get the cart of greens, and then I'm going to bring them out front and just work at my leisure. Might go in and out and keep checking on the project. All right, so I've got the greens tucked away in here with some of the old mums that I never got rid of, but we put them in here once we just took them out of the truck. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Ugh. Oopsie-doosies. All right, let's bring this to the front. What I like to do is if there's like a little crook in the branch there, I tuck it under that just to hold it in the breeze, and then I tuck in the end, hiding the other work. So once again, it's over a crook. I think hopefully you can see that. And then I bend over the stem. Just gonna spread them out just to take the harshness of the faux greenery away. This one might be too long, but what I like to do is use long strips and then fill in with smaller ones. It just saves a lot of time. So let me see, I'm gonna scoot this up underneath some of the lights to help hold it in and pull some of the limbs out, because you want to still hide that stem as much as possible. And like I said, once I get this in, I will also use some other stems to fill in spaces. But I'm just going into those crooks of some of the branches. And that just gives it a nice fresh start. And then I will, like I said, tuck some more in. And every once in a while, I'm going to add some cedar. And I have quite a bit more. I'm just going to tuck some in right now, just to give it some extra different colors so that you'll see real, faux, and several different shades. It helps break it up. This kind of matches the shade of the balsam. It's nice and pliable. While I'm going through my pile, what I'm going to do is take some of the other just long straight ones that I have and put them aside so that when Ben comes home, he can help me by holding the ladder again, and I will put them here at the top going each direction. But I'm going to do what I can right now, and then like I said, once he's home, I just want to be safe up on that ladder, and this will be done. It looks better already just with one layer, doesn't it? Look at the difference. I was able to get to the center with my ladder leaning. I didn't have to go as high as I did when I was hanging the nails. So I got this much done. I think I'm gonna go cut some greens here in the yard to put in the wreath. And I'm actually been adding just a little bit of this natural green to the balsa because the colors are so different. I just wanted to have some of the dark green in here also. But let's go find some items to snip and tuck in here. Oh, and I forgot this one too. I had to take the oranges off. Epic fail with the southern sun. Once they freeze and then thaw, they rehydrated. So might look good in pictures, but it doesn't work. Gonna have to. Some critter will like that. Once I get rid of the wire. All right, I'm gonna go grab a couple things for a pop of color. And while I'm here, the urns, right now I tucked two little tiny trees here. I did that on the side urns as well. I have more and I might just fill it with greens, but I kind of like the little Charlie Brown look, and I might put ribbons on the urns. I still can't believe these bulbs grew out here. It's crazy. But gonna need some color in that, but it looks so much better with natural greens around. I never got to trim this, which I need to do because it's starting to block our views. And there's one very tall one in the back there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to reach it from the back side or not, but I do like the color of this, and it's an evergreen, so I will have this to put into the wreath. I don't know if I want to put some juniper in or not. Oops, there's my shadow. Might put some juniper in. And I also like to add some rhododendron leaves. It almost makes me think of magnolia leaves, but they do curl up once they get too cold. But these look beautiful used inside the house for some greenery. Like I said, it's my little version of magnolia leaves. Just gonna trim them and pick them up because I am here with one hand. Look at this color of that sky. That's amazing. Bluebird sky. Maybe I'll put some of this in the garland too, I'm not sure. So I'm literally just gonna go in and tuck these in willy-nilly. That little extra pop of color and some extra dimension here. That'll be pretty. Tuck them in some of the groupings so things aren't just floating by themselves. Now I am doing the same on the side door. I'm hoping I have enough of the same greens, but I should. Even if I have to piece some together, I should have enough here. But very much of a difference. And I like seeing them billow a little bit in the wind versus the very stiff garland. And this is easy to do. If you have a friend, if you don't yourself have some evergreens on your property and a friend does, ask them if you can do some trimming. Or go to a tree farm that's doing some fresh cut trees and maybe they will let you buy a bundle or however you want to work it out. It really makes that little extra statement. Another thing I decided to add is some hemlock. I just like to see it move and flow in the wind. I'll add more, I think, but I'm gonna break for lunch. I have somebody who's been patiently waiting. She got put inside because she took off to the neighbor's yard. She was naughty. But I really like how it's coming out. A few more pieces of hemlock to put in. I'll put some at the top. And then I'm trying to think if I want to do some bows on the lanterns or bows with some tails on either side, just for another pop of color. But I'm pleased with it. Just coming in from doing the greens, and I see that they're working on the back wall. They're going to be doing plywood first. Oh, you got quite a bit done. And for code, we have to stay away from the chimney. I'm still debating. I was going to do beadboard here. I've got some beadboard samples that I was going to have put up, but I'm now thinking I might go with paint or wallpaper because I don't want to fight with the beautiful tile I have on the other side. So right now they're going to put up sheetrock for me and I can always decide afterwards. We were discussing about leaving notes. Well, that's what they did. So whenever somebody comes in and remodels this, which they will, it will happen over time, they will be able to see when we did this project. With Ben traveling tonight, it's sushi. No cooking, no baking, no prepping, and luckily the refrigerator's still plugged in, so that is my dinner. Of course with a glass of wine. Sauvignon Blanc, please. Thank you.